Imagine a man who destroyed a nuclear power plant, was involved in smuggling, persecuted mayors, and even created underground empires, and all this without a single day in jail. This is not a mobster. This is not a politician. This is Homer J. Simpson. But if we look deeper, maybe he's not just a fool who ruins everything. Maybe he's a mirror of all human society. And today we will analyze all the crimes of Homer Simpson to understand where the comedy ends and the philosophy of chess begins. Crime number 1. Nuclear power plant accident. It all starts innocently. Bart's class goes on a school trip to the Springfield nuclear power plant. That is the place where his father works. Mrs. Krabappel is happy. No one fight. No one screams. Well, except for Bart, who, as always, turn any situation into a stand-up comedy. And so, when the kids arrive on the station, Bart sees Homer, the very hero who is supposed to be keeping an eye on security. He shouts,
Hey, Dad! Yo, Homer!
and at that very moment, Homer gets distracted, crashes into a pipe, and accidentally causes an accident at the nuclear facility. He's immediately fired. Instead of admitting his quit, he falls into depression and even decided to commit suicide. But on the way to this, he saved his family from a car accident and realizes that he wants to fight for the safety of the city. Homer begins to put up stop signs around the city, protest against the power plant, and even leads a picket line against his former superiors. Ironically, it was Mr. Burns who decided to take him back and put him in charge of security. This decision was the worst managerial move in Springfield. Homer went on the violent security rules dozens of times. Crime number 2. Pirate cable TV. This time, Homer decided to steal cable TV. Neighbor Flanders refused to connect illegal channels, but Homer insists and install pirate TV in his house. At first, it seems like a small thing, but he deliberately steals the service and brags to everyone that he has hundreds of channels for free. Marge has doubts, and Lisa is the only one who understands that he's a violation of the 8th commandment, who shall not steal. Homer invites his friends, Apu, and even the police, who show up uninvited and are about to have him sit down to watch the pirate fights. When the coincidence starts to bother him, he tries to cut the cable, but accidentally cuts a straight light wire, adding vandalism to his list, just that the city could have exploded. Crime number 4. Homer is a bad person. The Simpsons' breakfast is as usual. Bart eats cereals and stuffs himself with marshmallows, while Lisa scolds him. Homer, overhearing the conversation about sweets, remembers the confectionery exhibition. He has 2 tickets and takes Marge with him, who puts on a coat with 7 pockets to bring out more goodies. At the fair, Homer grabs all the candy and stuffs Marge's pockets so full that they burst. While distracting the crowd, he steals a Jelly Venus de Milo. Homer breaks open a soda machine, makes it with Mentos, and throws it like a grenade, exclaiming,
See you in hell, candy boy!
and flees the explosion, leaving chairs and the smell of caramel on his wake. When Homer takes the nanny home, he says he won't scratch the ass. And here is the plot twist. Venus is stuck to the nanny's buttocks, and Homer accidentally touches her. The outraged people receive this as sexual harassment. When he comes out on his bathrobe, the wind exposes his torso. And now Homer is not only a trap, but also the star of the scandalous news. Homer's friends, Mo, Apu, and Dr. Hibbert, come and say,
How can you judge this man without talking to the people who know him best? We got the real dirt on Homer Simpson.
The children, Bart and Lisa, advise to film the appeal on television. But nothing works, and Homer falls into depression. The situation is saved by the farm manager Willie, who secretly films people on camera. Proof appears, and Homer is acquitted. Even the media apologizes. And Willie? He finds a new victim and continues his secret filming. Maybe he's secretly filming us now? Crime number 5. Homer's next crime. It all starts peacefully. Homer and Marge are attending a band concert. On the way home, they get carried away by gambling and loses $20 to a coin man in the dark alley. Marge rushes after him and knocks him out with a garbage can lid, and Homer is simply too out of shape to catch up with his wife, a manifestation of inaction. Marge liked this feeling of adrenaline so much that she joins the Springfield police. After this, Homer begins to mock Marge, parking in free handicapped space at once and laughing at the ticket she gives him. Marge's patience is running out. She considers becoming a police officer and adds up arresting her own husband, showing that even his wife sometimes has no part of the law about Homer's sense of humor. But the antics don't end there. Homer and his friends, Moe, Lenny, Carl, Barney, and Herman organize poker party in the kitchen, not even suspecting that Herman is hiding a contraband of jeans in the garage. He gets into trouble again, becoming a hostage of circumstances. But his comical happiness saved the situation. In this episode, Homer displays his usual mix of excitement, disregard for rules, and comical irresponsibility. There is not real crime here, but he still manages to prove that the law isn't from him. Crime number 6. Burns, son of Burns. The Simpson family headed on the farm to get cider, and Mr. Burns travels on his private train. That's when his long-lost son, Larry Burns, learns that the train is headed to Springfield and decided to find his father. Along the way, Larry meets Homer and his family. After much arguments, they finally agrees to take Larry as a passenger. Larry tries to get closer to Burns, but his strange behavior, jokes, and love of alcohol only embarrass his father in front of the elite. Homer sees that Burns is ignoring his son and decided to help, in a rather illegal way. They stage a kidnapping of Larry. They hide him on the basement of their own house, deceive everyone and even appear on the news as kidnappers. Everyone is in a panic. The police are already in their tail. Climax. Homer gives an emotional speech about the love of parents for their children, even if they are not perfect. The police on the town are shocked, but Homer again escapes punishment. This episode is a prime example of Homer's serious crimes: kidnapping, hiding, and deceiving law enforcement. The irony is that his good intentions turn into a full-blown criminal chase. Crime number 7. Homer versus the 18th Amendment. Sweet St. Patrick's Day in Springfield starts out fun, but quickly turns into a chase. Bart shows up to school without his green clothes, and his classmates start pinching him. The town parade starts, and Homer goes to Moe's for a drink early in the morning. The crowd was drunk. There were fights everywhere. When the free beer was being distributed from the platform, the hose was accidentally directed directly into Bart's pipe, and the guy got drunk in the front of everyone. His phrase,
What are you looking at?
was heard on television, and the city decided to completely ban alcohol. Mayor Quimby and Chief Wiggum joke at first, but the old prohibition law is really being reinstated. All the beer is being buried in the landfill. Springfield has been sober for 75 days. But Moe secretly opens an underground bar and supplies the alcohol of the Shelbyville mobsters. Even the police take bribes and pretend not to see anything. When Protestant women come to Moe's bar, they are shocked to find Wiggum drinking among the troublemakers. Wiggum is fired because of the scandal, and the new fighter against alcohol is the tough detective Rex Banner. He's ruthless, does not take bribes, and the entire underground business begins to collapse. Homer sees an opportunity to make money and, together with Bart, digs up old beers barrels and begins illegally delivering alcohol to Moe through the sewer pipes. This is now the Bear Baron appears, a mysterious hero who supplies beer to the city. When the beer runs out, Homer decides to brew his own alcohol right in the bathtub at home. Marge tells him,
Made some money and had the fun of being a wanted criminal. Why not quit now?
one of the boilers explodes. Homer runs outside, burns, and rolls on the grass, and then decides to quit. Former Chief Wiggum, now homeless, comes to Homer with a gun. Homer cops off with a plan to make it look like Wiggum found him and get his job back on the police force. It works. But Homer has to be punished with a catapult. Marge explains that even though Homer broke the law, He did it for the good crime, and accident had decreased. Banner is outraged, accidentally steps on the catapult and takes off. It later turns out that the ban was lifted 199 years ago, and Homer is released. At the end, the mafia takes up the cases again and within 5 minutes, the city is flooded with alcohol. Homer raises his glass and says,
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
Crime number 8. The City of New York versus the homerSimpson. It all started with a Moe's bar. The police says that the most customers are often to blame for most of the accident in the city. So today you need to choose one of the drunks who will not drink. The choice was made like in the game Pope of Rome, who drives a black egg, does not drink. The lucky one was Barney. Barney got behind the wheel sober, drive all his friends around in Homer cars, and then disappear for 2 months with the car. After some time, Homer receives a letter. The car has been found in Manhattan, parked in the prohibited place. If it is not picked up within 72 hours, the car will be thrown into the river. Homer does not want to go because of previous resentment of New York, but his family convinces him. When he arrives, he finds the car converted in finest and locked with a special wheel lock. Calls to service don't help. You have to wait from 9 to 5. The family enjoys the city, but Homer becomes more and more angry. He is mistaken for a homeless person. He eats something disgusting and suffers from thirst. Finally, he gets into his car and starts driving with the wheel lock on, causing traffic jams and destroying the car. Then he takes a drill from a worker and breaks the lock, damaging the car even more. Homer doesn't stop. He breaks into the park where the family is resting, honking his horn, almost hitting people. It was pure mayhem, gross violation of the law, destruction of public property, creating an emergency, and fleeing the scene. The first time Homer's crime extends far beyond Springfield and perhaps his most significant accident in downtown New York. Crime number 9. Homer and nuclear submarine. This time, Homer outlied himself instead of petty pranks. He almost started a nuclear war. It all starts out as usual. Homer falls asleep at work and passes a dream in which he is being executed for each half of the Earth donut simply. When he wakes up, he immediately takes another stupid mistake, using the reactor to try to enlarge a donut and accidentally causes an accident at the station. Mr. Burns fires him. Despite Homer's attempts to pretend to be a Rocky, unemployed and depressed, Homer sees an advertisement. If you want respect, become a Navy reservist. He decided that it will be an easy and fun service. He is joined by his friends, Barney, Moe and Apu. Everyone has their own reasons, but the result is the same. The Simpsons company is back together in uniform. During the training, Homer exhibits typical behavior, asking silly questions, drinking from a straw hat, and constantly getting into trouble. The commander at first loved him, and then, through a strange coincidence, makes Homer the temporary captain of the submarine. And then everything gets out of control. Due to his irresponsibility, the crew fires a torpedo directly at their own captain. After that, Homer finds himself in charge and accidentally drives the submarine into Russian waters. Panic rises in the world. The news report
Started early this year as a nuclear sub was hijacked by local man Homer Simpson.
Oh my god!
At a UNI meeting, Russia declares that the Soviet Union never fell apart. Tanks appear on the streets, the Berlin Wall is rebuilt, and Lenin comes to life with the words
Must crush capitalism.
Meanwhile, a real disaster begins on the submarine. The hull is leaking water. Homer prepares for the end, but remembers Bart's earring, which he takes with him. He covers the hole in the hull with it, saving the crew. He is declared a hero. All through, it all happened because of him. The submarine is raised to the surface, and Homer is ordered to explain his action in 10 seconds, otherwise he will be shot. And what does he say?
It's my first day.
Everyone burst off laughing. Homer's thriller doesn't last long. All the Georgians themselves turn out to be corrupt, so the case is closed. Homer thanks Bart to the ironing. because it saved them all. But once again, Homer's escaped punishment, even after accidentally nearly starting World War III. Over 9 seasons, Homer has gone for a simple slake and nuclear power plant to a man who could receive a life sentence for the number of his exploits. But it is Springfield, a town where I'll be forgiven for anything if you like donuts, have a nice family, at least one kidney for Mr. Burns. What do you think? Which of Homer crimes was the most serious? Write in the comments, and maybe your version will be making to the next part.